All right. Hello, everyone. I think I am live. Welcome. So good to be here with everyone. How is everyone doing today? All right. Got a couple questions start here. I just want to thank everybody for all the healing energy. I haven't been feeling the best the last week and a half since I got home from my trip. I'm feeling a lot better today, but still have a little bit of a cough and my throat's still a little sore. But besides that, I'm doing very good. Hi, everyone. But thank you for the healing energy. I really appreciate that. Um, Starting to feel pretty close to 100%. So I didn't do a solo show last week, but I was on Mel Door's channel last Thursday. And last night we had our members live for our mini readings, which was a lot of fun getting back in gear with everything. And it was nice to have a bit of a vacation, but it's good to be back here with everyone. All right. So today I will be answering political and current event questions. Was getting a couple hits, which I'll share in a minute. But please do me a favor if you haven't already. Please make sure to hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe. I think we're at 13,000 subscribers now, which is really awesome. Um, but I'll talk a little bit about my trip because I had a lot of people asking about that, and I haven't been on since I've been home. So not last week, but the week before, I went to Gettysburg, DC for the first time, and New York City, and it was really fun. When we got down to Gettysburg, um, I was staying at a haunted B&B in the area, which I've stayed at before, but I'm thinking about maybe planning a trip next year, small little haunted historical Gettysburg trip. Um, if it ends up unfolding. But had a lot of fun there. Did have some paranormal activity, which was really cool. We did. I mean, I think when you go into Gettysburg, you can definitely feel like the energy in Gettysburg is. You can tell it's definitely haunted. It has like its own like weird vibrational energy to it. Um, but the place I was staying at, they had sharpshooters, Confederate sharpshooters up in the attic space, and they were shooting up Cemetery Hill against the Union soldiers. But quite a few of the Confederate soldiers had died in that building. And I did notice when we were up in the attic where the sharpshooters were shooting, they kind of have a few pews laid out, and I was all the way back into the corner, and you can kind of see where the sharpshooters were looking out. I definitely had a weird feeling about the energy behind me. And then they said that that's where they dragged the Confederate bodies as they were shot and killed into the corner behind me. But it constantly felt like, I don't know, somebody like right looking over me over my shoulder. And I did feel a little boy's presence come upstairs during the tour as well. They have a little boy energy that's attached to the house. Um, and then during some of our investigation, it wasn't super active, but one of the rooms, the doorknob kept on rattling and you could hear it like somebody was trying to open it. And that happened like 6 times. Besides that, I didn't sleep very well in the room. The energy in the room that I was staying in was very heavy. And I did hear, I thought it was a little weird, but every time I would start to drift off to sleep, something would wake me up, like bring me back, like alert. I did hear a cat meowing, which they don't allow pets in there. But then after kind of reading through some of the journaling, I guess they do have a ghostly cat that stays there too. But I heard the cat meowing a few times. Besides that, not a lot of activity in the room. But it's really cool too. The next day we went out on a bus tour of the battlefields, and kind of clairvoyantly, I could even kind of see in my head in some areas you could kind of feel the energy of the battle. It was a really cool trip. And then we went to DC for 2 days, which was my first time there. I posted a lot of photos of the monuments, which is really what we spent most of the time doing, just kind of seeing the monuments. We didn't have time to go to Arlington Cemetery, but maybe that's something for a trip next time. And then when we went to New York City, we did a riverboat cruise to see like all of the skyline and the Statue of Liberty and the Brooklyn bridges and all of that, which was a lot of fun at nighttime. and I was really excited. I got my cronut, which is a croissant donut that I was looking forward to. And you might have saw some of the photos of me giving the bird to, I think it was Trump Hotel while I was down there. I couldn't help myself. I know it's not the most loving thing to do, but I don't know. I kind of stumbled across it and thought everybody might enjoy that. And what else did we do? Saw Sweeney Todd on Broadway, which was a lot of fun. Lots of walking. Spent some time in Central Park, but all in all, it was a good getaway. So uh, looking forward to more little trips and adventures in the future. All right. But if anybody has any questions on the trip, you can feel free to ask. That was kind of just a quick update on what was going on there. I don't want to spend all the time with that. All right, let me get some of these questions started. Thank you all so much for being here. Yeah, I like Gettysburg a lot. I'll say the last time I was there, I stayed at the same B&B. We did a ghost hunt there, and then after the ghost hunt, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We were staying at a bed and breakfast on the battlefield, and we got my husband's car stuck on the battlefield in the snow, and had to walk about a half mile at about well, I guess then it would have been about 3 o'clock in the morning, um, right through the battlefield. I think where like the first day's action happened. Me and my husband actually heard cannons being shot off in the middle of the night. So definitely, definitely very haunted and paranormal in Gettysburg. Yeah, Gettysburg definitely has that vibe. Absolutely. It's really cool though. All right. Gloria, I'm not doing personal questions, but I do feel like you'll be able to get your right eye pressure down for surgery on Friday. Just try to take it easy. Watch sodium too. Oh, interesting, Diana. But I think I didn't get a lot of information on actually booking that house. So I think I'll probably end up making another trip to Gettysburg just to. I got some good ideas from this trip. Um, I don't know if I'm going to be able to rent the house. So if that's not the case, maybe coming up with some other ideas there for a trip. But yeah, probably definitely go back there, maybe in the summer or fall. I did see the Vietnam War Memorial. Yes, I did Colant. I think my favorite place in DC was being down by the Lincoln Memorial and overlooking the reflecting pool, and you could see the Capitol building and the Washington monument there too. But it was very picturesque. I really like that area down by the Lincoln, and I also like too. We went to the MLK Memorial. We didn't go to the Thomas Jefferson, but you could see it over the waters, and it was really pretty. We missed the cherry blossoms. They were already kind of done. But it was really pretty down there too. Yeah, I got to see Sweeney Todd, which is my favorite musical on Broadway, and it was a wonderful show. I think they are only on Broadway for another week or two. All right. Yeah, Sweeney Todd is kind of dark. It's a dark comedy. Museums in DC, we went to the National Archives Museum, so we got to see the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, and the Declaration of Independence in there, so that was cool. And then we did go to the Smithsonian's I think Natural History Museum. They had the Hope Diamond there and a lot of other exhibits. We didn't have a whole lot of time for museums, but it did rain a little bit on the trip, so we hit up a couple of museums while we were there. We were only there for a day and a half, so we didn't get to do too much. And my mother came with us too, and um, she's got some health issues, so she can't do a whole lot of walking. So we did the best that we could. Yeah, we definitely took a look at Judge Mershon for sure. I did not book through a travel agency, Patricia. Um, we booked most of our stuff through Airbnb for our hotel stays and kind of just planned our own thing while we were there. All right. I did not see Judge Mershon, but I said we're going to take a look at him. I will say I was getting a hit with the hush money trial. I do feel, and I said it before, I did feel like he was going to get some small fines, and that we were going to be like, "What the heck? Like that's not going to do anything." But I'm glad that he acknowledged today with the fines that clearly that's not going to be enough to really sway Donald Trump away from not violating the gag order, and that he will lock him up if that's the case. If he keeps breaking it, which I said I felt like he would, I definitely felt like a strong threat there. I do feel like there's some more fines coming. I don't feel like locking him up in the near future, but I definitely felt the threats there. If they do lock up Trump, I don't think it's going to be like for the whole trial. Maybe it's for a couple hours for like the first warning. Because I feel like there's something there, but I'm not feeling like Donald Trump's locked away for a month or two, maybe a couple days at the most. But I do feel with that trial, I said before, I feel him getting really upset and having an outburst. I think when Cohen speaks, I see him kind of losing it, and I see the judge like really giving it to him. But then I also got a hit today as well, is that I think Hope Hicks' testimony is going to be really crucial because I do get that Trump really cares for her, but I get like almost like a sad feeling from Trump because he cares about Hope Hicks and is really upset with her testimony. So I do feel like some bombshells happening with that. Um, yeah, we can read on Clarence Thomas. It's interesting that you say that, W. Fletcher. I know that they've done some clearings and some of the spirits that reside there did leave. I think they have like 14 at the Farnsworth House Inn that still are there that aren't quite ready to move on. But I thought it was interesting with a cat, it having a hard time moving on. Maybe it just really enjoys staying there. Karen says, I feel like sitting in court farting, looking small and powerless is prison for the former president. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's funny too that, he still wants to call Joe Biden Sleepy Joe and criticize him for not having a lot of energy, and all Donald Trump's doing is sleeping in court. I think I don't know. I had heard that there was rumor that maybe they're sedating him um, because so he doesn't get all riled up during court. I don't feel that. I feel like all the stress from it, he's not getting hardly any sleep. So we know he doesn't have the biggest attention span, so he kind of dozes in and out of court. But I feel like he stays up till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just kind of just all that anger and just kind of pacing back and forth and yelling and shit like that. Um, that's kind of the energy that I get from him. Like he's very scared and very angry, so he's not getting much sleep. I don't think that they're sedating him, although that would be funny. Yeah, Mershon's hands are tied with the fines. But I'm glad that he came off very stern, and I said that he was going to. And I still even see he might give him a couple more chances because we know Trump's going to continue to violate the gag order. But I see him getting like even more and more serious. Like I feel like he has a very stern talk with Trump. Like, listen, this is your last chance. If you do it again, you're going to jail. All right, so let's take a look. All right, we'll take a look at this. So Linnea says, hope you're feeling better. Enjoyed your vacation. Thank you. Trump was warned if he breaks the gag order one more time, he will be put in jail. Do you see this happening? It doesn't feel like the next time. I feel like there's a couple more times, like 2 or 3 more. And he already has, I think, another gag order hearing this week. I think on, was it Thursday? And I think even next week. So let's just see. Will Judge Merchan sentence Donald Trump to jail for contempt of court? No, Pendulum's saying yes. Like I said, I don't feel like he's in there for a month or two. I think it would be great if he was. Shut him up, but it doesn't feel like it's actually prison either. Maybe it's some kind of house arrest is what I was kind of feeling. Or some place where he's kind of quiet and away from, his phone and communications and all that. I'll throw a couple cards on it though. We have the devil come out, all that anger, Trump not being able to control himself. Could be anger too, like having to sit there and stew in his anger if he's locked up and quiet, has to be quiet. Three of Swords came out. Heartbreak. He's not doing well. I've been telling you guys for a while. All the stress from these court cases, we're really seeing his health deteriorate. He's not doing well. All right. Will Donald Trump be jailed? He's going to continue to push it. Yeah, he's standing his ground. I don't think it's substantial, you guys, but I do get, the Seven of Wands. This is that defiant energy, him fighting, kind of pushing on. We all know that he likes to be the victim and it's everybody against me, but he's not doing well. Like I said, energetically, the mind feels very, very foggy, like he can't focus on anything, like he's trapped in his mind. Yeah, he's going to cause more chaos, more fighting. But I see this judge is not messing around. He will have order in his court. He's going to control it. There could be some kind of jail. Like I said, five of Pentacles here. To me, it feels like it would be more of a house arrest, but yeah, it doesn't feel good to me for Trump. I do think that the courthouse has jail cells for situations like this, Pegasus. I don't know. They'll do something like that, or like I said, he'll be trapped in Trump Tower. I didn't see the correspondence dinner on Saturday, Karen. I'm sure Biden did a great job, though. All right. Oh, I did hear that Eric Trump did go to the trial today. A couple of political people. Did Trump make them go? I do feel like he asked them to go. Absolutely. Who else was there? Ken Paxton from Texas was there. Yeah, I do think he asked them to be there. All right, people wanted me to read on Clarence Thomas. Let's take a look at Clarence Thomas. I've told you guys for a while that I don't feel he is well. I'm always kind of drawn into like the pancreas or liver area, like that solar plexus, even the bowels too. Like I get like a brown blackish color kind of coming into his aura in that space. He doesn't feel very well to me. So to me, it's like that solar plexus sacral chakra. Feeling like there's some kind of disease in that area. Yeah, we'll look at the protesters, you guys. I told you guys in my 2024 predictions that there was going to be worldwide protests globally. All right, let's look at Clarence Thomas, his health. Biden admitted he was old but running against a 6-year-old. That's hilarious. All right, what's going on with Clarence Thomas's health? He feels very fatigued to me, just kind of going in. Like I said, there's something in the gut, but I almost wonder too if there's maybe some prostate issues with Clarence Thomas too. Ooh, he's got some restrictions coming in. He's got some health challenges coming ahead of him, and it feels like it's accelerated. I do get the Empress, which in this deck makes me kind of, you can see the orb of light at the heart space, but also like holding on to the womb. So like that sacral chakra. It's something in the gut. Like I said, maybe even the prostate too, having some issues. But just tapping into his energy, he's got the seven of swords, that deception, the thief in the night trying to get away with corrupting the court. We see more of those plans being exposed. But I also get like some hardships here too. So there's some financial loss here. And maybe this is as they're investigating the money that was given to him. I do feel like there's illumination with that. In regards to the health, like I said, something in the gut. He's got some challenges and obstacles. It's like he's a bit stuck. Not easy progress forward. I mean, he's still trying to fight it, but I do see that the health issues kind of come in really strongly and quickly. So I don't know. It doesn't feel the best to me. Maybe that's part of the reason why he decides to step down. I still see him stepping down. To me, it feels like around the time of the election. So either just before the election or just after it, he has to step down. But yeah, his health doesn't feel good to me. I did see that Democrats announced today that they would help Speaker stay if MTG tries to remove him. Yeah, I do feel like there's continued pressure where they will try to oust him eventually. It's interesting that before I felt like he might be removed in April or May, and then we saw kind of that shakeup with the aid packages going through, and now there's the threats of it. So I still can see continued threats with it, but at some point I do see Democrats deciding not to back Johnson, because I feel like him out before the election. I do feel like when Trump passes, I do still see them allowing him to lay in the Capitol, Melissa. Unfortunately, I do see that. It's like it would rock the boat too much if they didn't allow it, even though he is a criminal, and I think he'll be charged as a criminal. But I feel like where a lot of the Mueller report coming back and the election being illegitimate, I think that's still probably a couple of years away before we learn more about that, where they would maybe say, well, he's never been a legitimate president. We wouldn't hold that. I think he's already passed for a while before that comes out. Elise Stefanik's filed an ethic complaint against Jack Smith. Will it go anywhere? Nope. No, I don't see it going anywhere. They're trying everything. I mean, as it is, I think what has I think Jordan even like wants Merrick Garland to go down there and tell everything that he's investigating or trying to, it's all about obstructing and um, trying to make some kind of show out of nothing. I don't see it going anywhere, Wiki. Is Laura Trump deeply involved with documents being moved? I feel like a little bit, but I don't think she was deeply involved, Dorian. I feel like there's some knowledge there, but I don't see her being really involved in the documents case. Karen says that there's still 3 special elections in the House prior to the November general election. It could be that Democrats pick up seat. Yeah, it could be. Absolutely. I see at some point, though, and I've been saying it for a while, the Republican Party is going to continue to fracture and implode. And it's interesting because I did say, I think last year as well, that I do see some bipartisanship between both sides before the election. So maybe this is the start of it. But it's like I see this crazy group, the MAGA group, kind of continuing to um, create chaos in the House until up to the election. I see it kind of amplifying. And I don't think Johnson's really one to trust either. I'm just gonna put it out there. Maybe he did right finally after how many months of them begging to pass Ukraine aid? Did he finally do it? I feel like he got some intelligence reports that were concerning for him to actually finally do it. I feel like even members in his own conference were like, "We need to pass some kind of aid." More of the moderate Republicans coming up to him, but I mean, MAGA Mike is still part of he's still part of this big group. He's not innocent in it. I mean, he was part of he had I think he was involved with some of the January 6th stuff, which we'll find out about. All right. Does Clarence know he's sick? Yes, he knows he's sick. I feel like that one day that he missed court was because of I think it was a health appointment. I don't know if they did like a colonoscopy or something like that. Yeah, well, take a look at Christine. I find it really interesting that I get that Trump is very disappointed because I think he was strongly considering her as a VP pick. But how can you pick somebody as your VP that you know treats animals so cruelly? Give me just 1 second, you guys. Um, I mean, we saw how that worked out for who was it, Dr. Oz, and him testing on animals didn't play very well. But I do feel like Trump did want to. I felt like she had a strong chance of becoming his VP pick. Now I feel like that's squashed because of her book. He's trying to defend her. Yeah, I'm sure he is. All right, what's going on with Christy now? I've told you guys from a while. I felt like the strongest contenders were Christy Gnomes and Tim Scott. I guess we'll see if that's still the case. I'm assuming Trump would announce his VP pick sometime in May or June. So here soon. But I don't think he'll pick Christy Gnome now. I almost feel like her career is over after this. She's not doing well either. Yeah, she's defeated. There's more stuff coming out about her. Yeah, I see her. I don't know when her term's up, you guys, but I think this will be her last term. I feel like her career's over. You have the lovers here, so her agreements and pacts with Trump, working hard for Trump. but secrets being exposed for her that are going to defeat her. 10 of Swords above her. And it's going to lead to grief and sorrow, sadness. Um, to me, it almost feels like more stuff coming about relationships and friendships in the past, people coming from her past and releasing, scandalous information on her. She's the thief. She was strategic and was trying to get away with it, but there's evidence being exposed. She wasn't thinking things. She's not very clear thought. There's that illusion, that delusion there, um, and that immaturity there too. But I feel like there's resignation there. This is walking away, but it feels like whatever her future is, it's not good. There's sadness there. Anybody know when she's up for re-election? 2027. I feel like she might have to leave early. She might be out in 2025, 2026. I know, it's horrible. I don't know what you think though. Like, oh, I'm gonna show everybody that I'm strong and tough and I use a gun, so I hurt animals. It's baffling to me. Why would you even say that? You can't think that that would be a good look. But like I said, she's drank a lot of the Kool-Aid. She's not all there in the head, so I feel like she's gonna have to resign early. More scandal coming out. It could have to do with the affair with Corey Lewandowski. It doesn't feel like it's financial matters. It feels like it's more like it could be like a sex scandal or something like that. Yeah, she is mentally ill. But I don't see her as doesn't look like a very promising VP pick now because of that. Oh, J Cat Lady said when he took the day off, had a feeling he had went for a colonoscopy. Yeah, that's what came through to me too, Cat Lady. It was definitely um, a healthcare checkup. I don't see Burgum being a VP contender. No, Sally. No. Does anybody even know who he is? Maybe that would make him a good point, a good pick. No, I don't see that. Yeah, I see her career being over soon. She needs to lay off the Botox. Geez, she looks like a blow up doll in the face. I don't know if I feel GOP members becoming Democrats. I did say I feel like Murkowski will be an independent, and I actually see her working like really on both sides. It doesn't feel like it's a switch to a Democrat, though. I don't feel like Christy Noma is one that has regret or sympathy or anything like that. She's just so delusional. She doesn't see she did anything wrong in the matter, which is even more sad if you ask me. There's no regret there or empathy. All right, you guys. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that, Becky. I did see Hunter Biden is going after Fox News. I said it before. I felt like he was going to sue them. Let's take a look at it. I feel like he's going to be successful with the lawsuit. Is it defamation? Has Trump promised Ken Paxton a pardon? I do feel like they've talked about a pardon, Heather. Yeah, that's resounding. That's resounding as true, but I don't see Trump getting back in, so there will not be a pardon for Paxton. I know that he had to pay some kind of fine, but I still feel that there's a lot more trouble coming up for him. It feels like a scandal between Paxton, Abbott, and the lieutenant governor of Texas. I feel like there's some major corruption stuff coming out. Um, to me, it actually feels like before the election. All right. Let's look at Hunter Biden and his lawsuit against Fox News. I see him suing MTG as well. Oh, it looks really promising, you guys. There's money being awarded to him, and he'll be victorious. It doesn't feel like it's a quick case. I do have like the Knight of Pentacles as his final outcome, which is slow and steady growth, but him being victorious with the Chariot after it's all said and done. He's got the star above him, so there's good fortune, good promise, keeping the faith. Like I said, a little bit of the watching and waiting game though. But yeah, it's like there's been a bit of delay. He's been really thinking about it, about filing the lawsuit. Now comes the action. And I do get like, I don't know if this is a settlement agreement between him and Fox, but I see money being shelled out his way. Absolutely. And like I said, I feel like he's going to sue MTG as well. It'll take a little while for the case to go through, though. Joan says, will the train employees go on strike in England in the upcoming week? I haven't heard about that. Was it train? I don't think so, though. First thought was no when I read that. Just ask the pendulum. Will the train employees go on strike in England in the upcoming week? Pendulum's saying no. So maybe there's some kind of deal or compromise reached before they strike. If they do go on strike, it doesn't feel like it's very long, but I'm feeling no. OCC says Paxton sells federal investigations looming after state settlement. Yeah, he's not out of the. He still has some trouble ahead of him. Yeah, I don't know if I feel like South Dakota or North Dakota is going to go blue, Karen, but I feel like her having to resign or her being out and it's the end of her career. I still feel like it's very conservative for both of those states. Although I will say, I remember I kept on getting weird energy around. I think it was her race for governor. I think in 2022, something weird was going on in South Dakota with that election. I don't remember exactly. I'd have to look at my notes, but um, so maybe they do get a Democratic governor eventually. Lorraine says, will there be laws in the future to prevent someone from running as one party then switching parties once elected? I do feel like they will address that. To me, it feels like it's a couple years out still, but I do see them stopping that. Or if they do want to switch parties, they have to have a special election. That's what it feels like to me. Like you're voted in as this party, so you can't just switch it without having a special election. And that's what I think they're going to do for that. Might be like 2026 before they do that. I do see Britain rejoining the EU, Joel, It might be a little while still, but I do see them eventually doing that. To me, it feels like it might be like 2 or 3 years, but yeah. Oh yeah, we have to look at the student protests. Yes, I was going to say I don't feel like all the students are being um, back and supported by outside influences, but I do feel like the outside influences are interfering with social media. A lot of these younger kids like to watch TikTok and Instagram. I feel like that's being some of those forces are coming in to kind of give some of that propaganda for that. But I do feel like there's some people in the movement that are being supported by outside forces. Absolutely. To me, it almost feels like Russia and maybe even China behind it. The foreign influences. Absolutely. I do see that I do see the protests going on for a while still. I know some people are worried about the youth vote. Um, and I do feel like there is a small chunk of them that will probably not vote. But I feel like the Roe v. Wade really getting women and younger women out to vote. Um, so I still feel like there's still momentum. Are there some people that aren't going to vote or not happy? Sure. But we've seen that happen before in the past too. I mean, I remember when Hillary and Bernie were running against each other. A lot of the Bernie supporters didn't vote in that election. Um, Maybe it cost Hillary, but I don't see it working out the same way. Like I said before, the Republican Party is going to fracture and kind of get some of the extremists out. And I see something very similar happening to the Democratic Party, but not to the degree that it happens with the Republican Party. I see us eventually getting to a place where there's more than just Democrats and Republicans. It feels like there's like 4 or 5 political parties. But I do see the protests lasting for a while. Unfortunately, I do feel like there's going to be some violence in them, and I do feel like what's going on in was it Columbia University where they've um, kind of broke into one of the buildings. I do feel like there is some force to remove them too. Doesn't feel like it's all around, but I do feel like there will be um, sometimes where the force will be taken when there's violent protests or destruction of property or um, kind of taking hold of campus buildings. I think it's weird too. Like I said, I do feel like those that are like kind of not college students that are going to the college campuses, those are the ones that seem like they're backed by outside forces and kind of spreading misinformation to some of the students there. It's very weird what's kind of going on. I don't see it being like another Kent State's situation. But I mean, a lot of them have already been arrested. But I feel like with Columbia, they may actually, Columbia University, they may come in and arrest the students and take them out by force. Is kind of what I was feeling. Yes, there are some peaceful protesters. I agree, Sharon. I'm not. That's where it gets tricky. It's why I don't necessarily like reading on the Palestinian and Israel situation because it it's close to home for a lot of people, and you don't categorize everybody as bad. You can be pro Israel and anti Netanyahu just like you can be pro Palestinian and anti Hamas. I think those students are still in that building, Karen, but I know that they have arrested some protesters. Yeah, I don't see it turning into a Kent State situation. No, I don't see that. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, to me, it feels like there's some um, some arrests here, being tied up. Like I said, I don't feel like everybody that's protesting. I think obviously a lot of them there's a lot of concerns there, and not all of them are anti-Semitic, but I think some of them are too. So I think a lot of young people are just really disappointed with what's going on in the world and want to fight up and use their voice to call out the injustice of what Netanyahu's doing. Yeah, unfortunately, and then I have eight of swords as the future, so I do feel like there will be some jail time for some of them. Five of cups, so there might be some sadness. I don't see it turning out into students being shot or anything like that, but it's like it goes a little bit too far. Yeah, there's some justice coming in eventually, so it will be okay in the long run. But I do see the protests continuing and kind of escalating for a little bit. Melissa says, "Why doesn't Columbia kick them out and arrest them?" I think they're going to have to get them out of that building. All right, you guys. I read on this last week, but let's take a look at it again. What are your thoughts on the immunity case? Any resolve? Yeah, I did feel when I was watching the hearing last week that I did feel like some disappointment with the immunity case. I don't see them saying he has presidential immunity, but I see them kind of throwing it back to the lower courts to establish what was done privately and what was done as official, of being president of the United States, and some clarity and back and forth with determining what's what. I thought it was very ridiculous because they didn't even discuss any of the merits of the case. They were just talking about all these hypotheticals or, um, you know, them going after future presidents and and all of that. But I see it being okay. Like I said, I don't see that them saying he has presidential immunity. I still see that the case may happen before the election, or details on the case will happen before the election. Um, it feels like they kind of throw it back to kind of further delay it, which is why they took the case to begin with. But I see it all being okay. It will be resolved. And like I said, I still feel like the case is going to happen before the election. Yeah, they just want to stall. When do you see Jack Smith charging Republican politicians who were deeply involved with January 6th? I'll ask if it happens before the election. I do feel like it may happen before the election. Timing's always a bit hard. To me, it almost feels like maybe some charges coming out late summer, fall. All right. Will Jack Smith charge some of the politicians involved in the January 6th before the 2024 elections? Getting a big yes. Yes. Feels like fall, maybe August or September. September, it feels like. I feel like Amy Coney Barrett will side with the liberals in this case, um, to say that he doesn't have immunity. Roberts really is that wild card in the matter. I think, and it will be up to him to decide it. I kind of feel like there's some disappointment there, though, unfortunately. And if you think about it too, was Alito and Thomas say that they're ready to kind of retire. So the Supreme Court's going to do whatever they can to um, make sure that they can retire, and we don't have Joe Biden um, as president when they decide to do that. They don't want to lose two conservatives. So, I mean, I feel like that may be some of the motivation behind it. Yeah, I agree. Um, Dorian says, I get good vibes with Amy lately. Will she shock us? Find us fine. I'm not saying I feel like I'm a big Amy Coney Barrett supporter by any means, but I do see her as more of like a moderate. And I think we've seen that with some of the rulings lately too. I mean, obviously not the Roe v. Wade, um, but I think for like our democracy and stuff like that, I see her being more moderate with that. I see 6-3 against Trump for immunity. Yeah, I feel like it's not even voted on like immunity. I feel like them throwing it back to the lower courts. To me, I'm feeling more of like a 4 or 5. Maybe it's 5-4. Maybe we're lucky and it's not delayed. Like I said, I still see it happening, and to me, it feels like before the election. So I guess we'll see. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here soon, but I just had a couple other questions that I had to start. Um, you see any major hurricanes affecting the Bahamas this year? I do feel like the Bahamas will be affected, but it doesn't feel like it's um, either it's not a direct hit, or if they are hit, it's a um, smaller storm. So it doesn't feel like it's total destruction, but I do see them being affected by some hurricanes this year. What's going to happen with Bill Lee? I have no idea who Bill Lee is. Yeah, it could be a fact finding from Judge Chuckin. I still feel like it's going to happen though, so maybe it's not. Maybe it does happen. Maybe she doesn't allow that 90-day leeway, and she starts the case like in 2 weeks after they make the rulings. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it's all going to pan out, you guys, but I see it working out before the election. Governor of Nashville, Tennessee. Well, I don't know what's going on with Billy. Is he a Democrat or a Republican? Oh yeah, I saw that Barr said that he still vote for Donald Trump. It's amazing. All right, Billy. Well, that's interesting. I don't know anything about Billy. What's going on? I do feel like there's Ace of Wands, so this is a bit of fiery energy. Can be a bit of anger, kind of new anger coming in. Is there something going on with the relationship or a relationship scandal, or like a partner scandal somebody's partnered with? Because I see like things being illuminated on the relationship. I feel like there's heartbreak there, there's retreat coming in, and it feels like it's quick. So I don't know if there's some kind of scandal going on with Bill Lee, but I would feel like with these cards, it would be like a resignation. Nashville is blue, but most of the state is red. Well, is Billy a Democratic mayor then, or is he a Republican? 'Cause I feel like there's some scandal coming out with him. I have no idea. Like I said, I've never heard of Bill Lee, so he could be a Democratic, but there's some kind of scandal coming up. On the abortion pill case, I don't see them, you know, putting it up to the states. I feel like the abortion pill is going to stay. It'll be legal to use. Oh, Ford says he wants to arm teachers. Oh, yeah, I guess he is a Republican then. Yeah, I see a scandal coming out on him. I don't get a very good vibe from him. All right, let's see. Is there anything else we can finish on? Will members of the Supreme Court be removed or resigned in the next year? I still see Clarence Thomas leaving. Like I said, maybe it happens right before the election or right afterwards, but around that time frame. Um, I feel like Roberts might leave here soon too. Roberts feels like he doesn't feel well either. I pick up that there's health issues, and then obviously, I think when indictments come, there's going to be a lot of stress with Ginny Thomas being in trouble for her involvement in the January 6th, and then all the ways that he financially benefited from being a Supreme Court. I see him having to step down. Roberts feels like it might be health related too. His energy feels kind of tired to me. Um, but then I see too them talking about maybe um, adding justices to the court. So this is into Biden's second term. But I feel like Clarence Thomas will probably leave within the next year. Yes. All right, you guys. Oh, people are saying he's a Republican governor. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, I think I'm going to end it there, but I did have so much fun hanging out with you all. It was far too long, so um, but good to hang out with everybody and answer some questions. I will be on Susan Lynn's channel tomorrow night, so if I didn't answer your questions, please stop by into Susan Lynn's channel, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll be doing politics. I always look forward to doing shows with her. It's always a fun time. And then I believe Mel will be on my channel Thursday night. So I'll be on. You'll see me on YouTube the next couple of days. And then I think besides that, I don't think I have a lot of shows next week. I think it's just my show on Tuesday and my show with Mel on Thursday. And then I take my Holy Fire Karuna Reiki class, which I'm really excited about next weekend. Um, so then hopefully some teaching, some classes here come end of summer, fall. So that's the plan with that. But really looking forward to that. Besides that, I think that's about it. Please do me a favor. Please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And if you would like to book a reading, a Reiki session, or a combination of both, you can go over to my website. It's kevinlovingvibrations.com. I have a link on my About section on my YouTube page and in the description box. And if you need anything in the meantime, send me an email, kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. All right, everyone. I will see you all soon. Sending you all a lot of love and blessings. And you all take care. Take it easy. We're gonna get through. We're gonna get through these challenging times. Okay. Bye, everyone.